Hi, how you doing? This is Joe with BigUglyPlastics, and today we're going to make some swim baits. Okay, it's the 5-inch paddle tail, which when it's done and finished is going to be on a swim bait jig head such as this. Okay, this is a 1.5 ounce jig head, and what we're going to do is we're going to make white ones. So as you can see over here, I already have the plastisol ready to be cooked. And this is the baits we're going to use. I mean the molds. These are the molds. Okay, they're really nice molds. And so I'm going to put the plastisol in and get it ready. And then when I come back, I'm going to pour them for you. And then we're going to see how everything looks. Okay? So I'll be back. So we've taken the plastisol out of the microwave. It's been in there for 5 minutes. Now it's cold out here, so it's not going to be as easy. So right now it's at 225 degrees, okay? We need to add another 100 degrees to this. So we're gonna put it back in the microwave. I'm gonna put a little bit of colorant in it, okay? And you have to count the drops you're putting in so you can keep track if you're trying to make a whole bunch the same. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so that's 20 drops of color because you want these to be nice and really white, whiter than that last one that I showed you. Okay, and you mix it all in, and as it gets hotter, it starts to get thicker. Okay, so you have to keep it moving. So we're going to put it in for another 2 minutes. Normally, if it was warm out here, I would only put it in for another 1 minute. But in this situation, you have to do that. And again, while we're at it, this is the mold that we're going to be using. Okay, this is a 5-inch paddle tail. It's a really nice mold. It's heavy. Okay, and I got it on the hot plate to keep it warm. All right, that way when I start to pour, it's going to stay warm. Because I can only pour it up to maybe a 1/16 of an inch below the top because they settle. All right, and then I put it back up on there, and I'm going to have to add more plastic at the end just to finish it off, so it's nice. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're going to add some pearl to it when it comes out, just to give it that glow, that really beautiful pearl glow. And you only use a little bit of this stuff. Okay, this is a powder. And you know, a lot of people use these on their nails, on their faces. I mean, you never know what people are going to do. You know how that is. So, okay, now we just took this out of the microwave, and it's at around 315, 320. Now it's at 304. It's going to drop quickly because it's cold. Okay, but as you can see, that's really nice. Might not be quite as thin as I want it to be, so I'm gonna put it back in one more time. I know I'm a pain in the ass, but I have to. Now you see all that steam coming out of there. That's pretty good. But look, it's barely 300. Okay, but it's a lot looser. Okay, so that's good. You gotta use all this because the more you cook it, what happens is it starts to burn. Okay, you can't have that. So here we go. Okay, you want to make sure you have good gloves on. Okay, that stop the heat from getting through your hands, and you want to put it right near the fan so the fumes coming out go right into the fan and out the window. So you want to start off slow. You don't want to have too much in it. Okay, the good thing is if you keep it small, you're not going to overflow too much. It is something that happens, though. I don't want you to think that it doesn't, because especially if you're doing this for the first time. Okay. See, now this one, so right here. Okay. These are going to need more as they settle. So I'm going to take another one down. Okay. I'm going to hold it. Put this on it to help. This one on it. Now I'm going to let those go, and I'm going to try to do all 3 of these, and then I can turn around and add just a little bit more plastisol in the cup, or not. I might just do it real quick depending on how much I have. So, listen, I'm not the best at pouring these things. I make a mess sometimes, but they come out good, so that's all that matters. Plus, I'm half blind, so you won't be seeing that one, okay? But you want to know something? That'll be one of the ones that comes out the best. You know, it's funny, but maybe when we're done, we can trim it up and show them how it looks. Oops, sorry. All right. Try to do this one a little bit better. Maybe we should turn that light on. Some people are really good at this. You know, I mean, I make good baits, and I end up having to recook some of them and make them a little better. This is not working. So here, because like I said, we didn't fill this one up all the way, because sometimes, you know, the plastic moves around a lot when you're making it. So this one here is pretty good right now, except for the top, okay, up front. And what you have to do is you have to do the whole thing. You can't just try to pour it into one spot. See, now this one's just about right. See that? Now these clean up really easy over this kind of stuff here. And like I said, I'm no brain surgeon, but you know, I make hundreds of them, and sometimes they come out really well. Other times, you know, you have to do a little bit of cleanup, but that's part of the game, you know. So what we're going to do, because of how cold it is we're going to switch over to an injection mold, okay, which is right here. All right, and this is a grub. It's a 5-inch grub, and eventually you'll probably see them on my walleye jigs that we're going to make. We're going to go make some videos of them in a little bit, just to show you what else is going on and the different stuff we made. And that way at least you'll have a little bit better idea. So I'm going to put this back in here, okay? See what the temperature is on it right now. Yeah, this is not good. We're gonna have to wait till we have some heat, you know? So it's at 220 right now. And we're gonna hit it for 2 more minutes again. So we're going to switch over to injection mold. This is a 5-inch grub. So what I did was, it's been on here for a few minutes, but I've just turned it over to help the heat come up into the injection part of it so that it warms everything up. What happens with this mold, if it's too cold, is the bottom piece, the bottom two, there's 4 in there, the bottom two, the grub, doesn't necessarily come out as nice as it could most of the time. So that's just heads up news, all right? So we're going to try to get this temperature up over 320, 330, something like that, and then that way it should shoot well. You'll notice that the injector is on the grill also, and I also have an eel on here, a single eel I was playing with the other day, trying to load up my container full of those. As long as your stuff gets hot. See, this is turning yellow. This is cooking. So we're probably not even going to be able to use it after this, but it's hot. It'll probably end up turning a little yellow. But I did stir it, so let me see if I can put a little more white in it. That'll help. Okay, so the temperature now is a little higher than we actually wanted. It's in the 370s, but you know what? Another couple of minutes, and I'll have this thing in, and I'll have it full. So we're going to turn this over. See, even the knife is smoking hot. So, okay, so we put these down. Now, when you put these down, you want to put the handles down on the clamps that are holding it together. That's important. Okay. I'm going to throw another one on the top up here just because, and that's what really helps. Now I stand up when I do it, okay, and what I do is, you don't want to push it all the way to the bottom, okay, because there might be lumps or something down there. So what you do is you put it in just a little and you go down with it as it goes. Okay, now you hear that? That's air. That's not good. Alright, you don't want a little bit of air, it's not going to hurt. So what you do is you put it in, okay, and then your hand, as you're pushing, you're going to notice that all of a sudden it's going to stop. Like right there, it just stopped. I have the same pressure on it as I did from the beginning, but what happens is it's full. And it even had a little extra pressure. You saw what came out. That means you had the right amount of pressure on it, and you really don't have to do it anymore. Okay? So, as you can see, it's extremely hot. Okay? That's why you gotta have good gloves. Gotta have good gloves. I got lucky at the market the other day, the flea market, and this guy was selling me these gloves here called Handmade. Don't know where they came from, but they have thicker black stuff on them. I don't know what it's called. Alright, and I don't feel any heat with these, and I'm very pleased with them. I'm going to go get a couple more pairs on Tuesday just to have them. I have all kinds of gloves laying around here, but you know, I really like my fingers. Alright, now this is important also. See, it has a hole there. Alright, and that's what happens when the plastic goes in nice and fast. It leaves behind this little bit here. Okay, so you want to fill it in. Sometimes you might have to fill it in once or twice or 3 times just to make sure that it's working. Okay, so I'll tell you one thing you wouldn't try. Tell you what, we're going to play here a little bit. Like I said, sometimes these work out well because you can just top them off on the top. Sometimes they don't do it though, because you can see there's like an indent in it. Okay, so what I do is I just fill it. Okay, and it might not be pretty at the moment, but you want to make sure that you do the whole thing, even if you overflow everything, because you can always just take a knife and clean it off. But when it's cold like this, it sinks, and you know, it comes together closer to the bottom than it does on the top. So I'm going to show you that when it's done. Okay, when I take it out. And the same thing is on this one. You can see it's indented a little bit. Can you see that? Like it didn't come all the way to the top, even though it was. It was at the top. So we're going to just fill these in. You want to fill them in because you want them to fill the whole top of the cavity. You don't want only half of it, like one side or something. Now this video really sucks, I understand that, but you know, you're getting the idea of the bad things that can happen to you also. Okay? And this is the last one. Actually, this one actually looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but I'm going to leave this one alone. Because it's going on a swim date. It's not going to have to be disguised or anything. So, and you notice the hole is filled in now on this. Okay? That's good. That means when I open this up, which I'm about to do, okay, and what I usually do, just to check for my safety, is I take my gun and I check the cavity. I check it. See? And it's only in the 40s. So that means it's cooled off somewhat and I'm not going to get burnt. So how I do it, some people take a knife and they open it. When I do it, I just kind of stick my finger in the hole without any KY. And here, you watching? Okay. And as you open it, you see all the grubs, and they all came out perfect. Okay, they're a little look like they have a little bit of that burn in them. So what I do is I take this off. But these are still nice white grubs. They're nice and white and they're clean. Okay, this is perfect. You couldn't ask for anything better than this, really. Okay, and you can do it in all colors. Okay, and you know, I also have 8-inch grubs. I have 5-inch that are long and skinny grubs. There's all kinds of grubs you can use, but it really depends on the person you're making the grubs for.